Hello, Tim from Fair Play now on the 26th of March 2024. So before I start, I think I might have been stuck in traffic behind Klaus Schwab the other day because we were driving along and there was this big black Mercedes in front of us and all it had on the rear number plate was bugs. You will eat the bugs. What do you think? Was I actually stuck behind Klausy boy? Probably not, but interesting choice of number plate for that person, wasn't it? Anyway, that's not what I'm here to speak about. What I am here to speak about is some risky business I'm undertaking. Basically, in defiance of people like Schwab and Greta Thunberg and all the rest of these idiots, I'm not going to stop travelling. I'm not going to stop enjoying myself, enjoying my life. I'm not going to stop seeing the world. So I've got plans later on in the year to go on a bit of a trip away, probably visiting more than one country. Going to be sort of more on that later in the year, after I come back for obvious sort of security reasons. But that is what I've got planned. And it's a risky business because although these days I'm sort of 90% sure this won't be happening again anytime soon, if they did decide to bring back the nonsense, all the mandates, the muzzling and everything else, I would just simply refuse to do any of it. I would refuse to do the quarantining. I would refuse to do the muzzling up. And I'd just be sitting there on the plane or whatever, arms crossed. And I said, no, sorry, you can kick me off the plane if you like, but I'm not putting on one of your slave muzzles. Thank you very much. And I would be completely and utterly defiant. And I would tell these people where to get off in very short order, even if that meant me having to get off the plane, if you know what I mean. But I would literally forego the trip and lose my money rather than putting on a slave muzzle. That is how determined I am to resist the tyranny. And yeah, it is a risk. Like I say, I think I'm probably 90% sure they're not going to bring it back anytime soon now. I think there's just too many people aware of what a scam it was for them to get away with it. That's certainly what I'm hoping anyway. But there's always that niggling 10%. And there's people, I know there's probably people watching this, well, I'm not going to go away. I'm not going to go away while there's any chance of anything like that coming back, etc. And there's people who refuse to travel at all. They refuse to get a passport because that's kind of, as far as they're concerned, kind of kowtowing to the government. You know, you need basically the government's permission before you can go anywhere. So they refuse to get a passport and therefore refuse to leave the country. But if you sort of think about it, that's what they want, isn't it? That is exactly what the powers that shouldn't be want. And by doing that, by confining yourself to this country, you really are, okay, it's a countrywide sort of 15-minute city or sort of climate lockdown, but effectively you are putting yourself into kind of a lockdown by not allowing yourself to travel anywhere. So, you might think on that as being the right way of thinking about things, the wrong way of thinking about things, but that is the way I think. So I'm going to be defiant. I'm going to go and sort of totally ignore these idiots and their, what they want, sort of us to not travel very much or at all. And I'm going to be travelling quite a lot, actually. Thank you very much, Greta and Klaus and Sunak and Al Gore and all the Gates and all the rest of you idiots. I'm going to be doing what I want to do, and if you try and bring back any nonsense, I'm going to respond to that with complete and utter defiance, I can tell you. So I'm kind of little bit late. I know we're about 3 days late on this, but 3 days ago on the 23rd, we were looking at the 4th anniversary of the UK going into the first lockdown. And it's 4 years now. And like I say, I don't think, I'm pretty sure it's not going to come back anytime soon, if ever, hopefully. But, you know, I'm just still angry about it, to be honest with you. I thought I was getting better, but I was in this restaurant the other day. We met up with friends, me and Lorraine did, for a nice sort of Sunday roast lunch in this pub, and that was very pleasant. But as I looked around at people having their Sunday dinners, roast dinners and all of that, I was getting angry, which sounds a bit weird, I know, but bear with me. I was sort of just thinking, sure, yeah, you're sitting there enjoying your sort of outing out at the pub now, but why weren't you doing that this time 4 years ago? You know, why were you all so compliant with the government and their dictates? Why did you obey? Why? You know, if everybody or enough of us had just stuck our two fingers up at the government and said, no, we're not staying at home. We're going to carry on going to the pub. I'm going to carry on going to the office or to work or to the building site, whatever. And if all the shop and pub owners had been of the same sort of mentality, no, you're not closing down. Just for something that looks like it's only the flu. No, I'm going to stay open. I'm going to keep my doors open. But everybody, or 99.9% of people, were just so compliant, and that's why the government thought they could get away with it. Luckily now, and this is why I don't think it will ever come back, I think a lot of people would still be very compliant, but I think enough people, if they do bring the nonsense back, would be non-compliant, and that is why they're not going to sort of risk it, I don't think, not anytime soon anyway. But I just thought when we got to that 4-year anniversary, I just thought, why were we so compliant? Why was this country so compliant? And why was almost every other country in the world so compliant with the nonsense? Well, all I can say is never again. Never should that sort of thing happen ever again. And I don't care if something 10 times worse, 100 times, 1,000 times worse than the lurgy comes along. Okay, I know 100 times bugger all is still bugger all, but you know what I mean. If something really, really nasty actually ever did come along, even then, that is no excuse for us to enter into a communist tyranny, which is what the lockdowns were. That is how I regard the lockdowns. It was a communist tyranny. And I'm just going to finish this little rant, or whatever it's been, just with a little meme I saw. And it went along the lines of, do you remember when we used to treat lurgies with hot soup, plenty of water and plenty of rest, instead of with communism? I think that really sums it up. And never again, I'm never going to accept communism in my life and in my country in the name of any lurgy, no matter how bad. And I'm certainly never going to accept communism as far as climate nonsense is concerned. So with that, I'll leave it and I'll be back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.